We'll have to work on our setup a little bit. So we'll see if we start receiving some data here. And we do. We're live. That's it. And I think it's better if we don't put ourselves. Is it?
If we put ourselves, what do you mean?
Should we put this tab, or this tab? Let's see what YouTube is receiving. So, so that's it. Welcome back. Day
Thank
number
you.
2.
That's
We're
it.
doing it, man. I'm excited. Are you as excited as me?
Yeah.
Are you ever excited?
It depends. In certain things I am, in others I'm not that much.
Okay, describe me what excites you then.
When things work. So probably my excitement will come later.
Oh yeah, when it starts to work.
Yeah.
All right, let's with love and care and start the things end up working. I'm thinking this is proper love and care to what we want to achieve. But I agree with when things work, it's better. But I like to start things. But that's the main personality difference between you and me.
Mm-hmm.
You're full of doubt, and I'm full of excitement. Yeah. But like this thing, we gotta like. Sometimes I look at my behavior and I'm like, sometimes there are things that are too like. I never fucking quit. I wanted to do this in 2018. Didn't work. I was trying to fix some things in 2020. It still didn't work. Now, fucking 2022. We're going in 2023. It's been 5 years that I wanted to sit down and do these things. So this is pretty good. Like I said yesterday, I see this as more or less our plant core. Okay, let's cover the topics, or more precisely than yesterday, what we are gonna cover in those coming videos.
Okay.
So I texted you on WhatsApp a while back, and we made a list of tools that we're gonna use.
Yep.
Let's go through them one by one and see how each of them we are gonna use and we could use, and is it a priority? Like for each tools, let's like go a little bit in detail what it's used. Well, how do we use it, and what type of guides or tutorials or help that we would need from. You agree?
Yep.
Perfect. First one, Cloudbeds. What's Cloudbeds? How we use it?
Okay, so Cloudbeds is our reservation or booking system. It's basically the software that coordinates and organizes everything related to bookings. So it has the booking engine in which people can go and book by themselves. If people visit our website, they can click on a button that says book now, and then that will bring them to the booking engine, in which they can choose the dates and they can choose the room that they want. And after they've chosen that, they can proceed to the checkout, which is the payment of the booking, and then it creates the reservation. It also has like a connection tool for different OTAs, which stands for online travel agency, which is basically all the platforms that are used for booking, such as booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, and many others. And Cloudbeds also help us like synchronizing the calendars of each one of those tools. So if someone books in Airbnb, then that room that was booked in Airbnb won't be available in booking.com to avoid overbookings. That's the main reason why it works for. It's to avoid having the same room booked in different platforms. Some people do it manually, but when you have a 54 hotel room, it's impossible to do it manually. So that's why having an PMS, which is what Cloudbeds is, a property management system. And that's what it helps for, like synchronizing calendars, setting up a booking engine for people to book directly on your website, also managing the reservations. You can confirm, cancel, check in, check out each one of the reservations, and that's it. Imagine the prices as well. Everything related to bookings, basically.
Yeah, so it has our reports, our revenues, it has like our calendar, all our data, and it's a great tool, pretty expensive, but it is better than whatever we used before.
It is for sure a premium software.
Yeah, exactly. And I might add that it has an API, which stands for Application Programming Interface. It's a complicated word just to say that you can write your bit of codes to go and plug or fetch data. So it has these plugs that you can like go and plug and fetch, and that will be useful and has been a little bit, but will be more for the future because we'll be connecting other tools that we are using to Cloudbeds. So there's going to be that to do and cover. And pretty satisfied with Cloudbeds so far. It has changed our life. Like, which OTAs are we using?
So we use Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, Hostel World.
All right. Talk to me about, like, briefly, Booking.com.
Well,
good,
for
bad,
me,
the best.
Well, all the OTAs work kind of the same way. Booking.com and Airbnb are the best ones for us. They are very popular. They bring a lot of the type of clients that we want to have in the Auberge. It's great. Booking.com is pretty popular worldwide. I think it's like compared with Airbnb. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's great. The only caveat is that we need to pay an invoice for the commissions
Okay.
that they charge. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. So when we use Cloudbeds, it is connected to Booking.com. Do we sometimes have to connect to Booking.com to do certain manipulations or certain actions?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we'll be covering Booking.com too. Then you mentioned Airbnb. Talk to me about Airbnb. What's your take on Airbnb?
Well, Airbnb is interesting because it first started like a residential lodging, like residential rental solution for people that went on vacations and they wanted to rent a house from someone, and that opened the possibility for them to make a little bit of money with their property. Right now, they are way more open for hotels, and that's why we're using it. And it pretty much works the same as Booking.com. People go there, book, they compare prices, they choose the dates, and then they create the reservation. Both platforms have customer service assistance, kind of. So as opposed to booking directly with us, there is a team over there with Booking.com and Airbnb that manage everything, like a third-party associate, kind of. So if there is a problem with a reservation or a modification or cancellation, it is them that manage it, and we just like communicate with them directly. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Expedia.
So Expedia is, as Booking.com, it's pretty known to be used by hotels worldwide. Expedia is great. Like, it has a very robust interface. Creating the property and everything is not hard. You connect it pretty much the same as the other platforms. With Expedia specifically, we have a 2-night minimum policy. Because first, Expedia, the way they pay us, it's a little bit different from Booking.com and Airbnb. They pay us a month after the booking, and for me, it's kind of weird system in which you need to bill them to get the money from the reservations that you already had. So that part is a little bit complicated, like claiming the money. But aside from that, it's an OTA like the others. And that's it.
I would add a bit of thing. You're very nice with Expedia right now.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how I should.
Like-
Okay,
Let's tell the fucking truth.
okay. So Expedia, we've noticed, like we've been using Expedia for almost 2 years now, and we noticed that the type of clients that come from Expedia are a little bit out of our target market. It's, to be honest, like whenever, like most of our clients, let's say 95% of our clients are super happy with the place. They love it. They love the operation. They love everything. But that little 5% of people that don't like it, like almost 90% of that 5% come from Expedia. So there is a thing with their client base. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but we are kind of like, when we receive a booking from Expedia, we're like, okay, we need to be careful with this booking, like make sure they're super happy, that they have everything they need, because they are, the clients that come from Expedia are the picky clients usually. So,
Yeah. And Expedia has a weird thing where they connect to all these different websites with different brandings, like hotel.coms and Agoda. And then there are things like TripAdvisor, super known for like reviews and stuff. And people are telling you like, TripAdvisor, you have to be on TripAdvisor. Well, TripAdvisor is Expedia. When you're on Expedia, you're on all these platforms. So we don't even know the full list of what our hotel is listed on when we're listing on Expedia. And my impression is that they come from those weird websites that you shouldn't use to really be booking. You should use like either Expedia, that's fine, but or maybe TripAdvisor, you don't know. But then like hotel.coms, everybody know that's not like a real OTAs.
okay.
And I think that is the main reason why. Also, they are charging us 20% of a reservation,
yeah.
and we can't really. Sometimes they have a promotion, and we're just like opt in their promotion, and we just rented the room for like $35, and that's it. That's the way it goes. All right. So it's my least favorite OTAs, and if they want to pay us to change that opinion, we'll consider it in the meantime. Oh my God. It's not like if we had one that we would, like, let's say we're full or we're getting fuller and we're like kind of at the point where we can switch off OTAs, that would be the first one I switch off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that covers Cloudbeds, which has a booking engine, and it's the one that is on the website, and then it's connected to Booking.com, Airbnb, and Expedia to make sure that whenever we receive a booking, the room gets blocked on all these other platforms. And that's it. Then we use... Okay, so let's stay in the like reservation zone for now. So Akia. What's Akia? Why we use it? What the hell does it do?
So Akia, it's one of my favorite tools. There is also like a personal feeling with them because they are a small company. Well, first of all, what's Akia, right? So Akia, it's a guest communication software. So it's a tool that you use to communicate with clients. Okay, so each platform, such as Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, they have like people can chat to you on that website to communicate with you. And Akia, first, it helps connecting all of these channels in just one place, so you can answer directly from one place instead of having to log in into each one of the platforms to answer the people. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that they have an SMS sending system in which you can preset messages to, you can either preset messages to be sent at specific times with the specific conditions, or you can also use it as an SMS communication tool in which you just change text messages with clients. Because when clients book, they either on the website or on an OTA, we get their phone number. And then we can send them instructions for the check-in or like the reservation confirmation information. That sounded weird. And so the reason why I love it first is, well, right now it's pretty stable. It doesn't have almost any bugs. It's been on spot with all the messaging and everything. It's been a long while since I had complaints of clients not receiving their text messages or whatever. And when they do, it's because it simply didn't check. because people usually don't read. But the system, it's like on point. And the other reason why I like it is because they're a small company. So I've been constantly giving them feedback, and they've actioned that feedback and actually improved their software a lot. So that kind of made me realize that their customer service is pretty good, as opposed to some platforms like Expedia. So Akia is great. Guest communication tool used to send SMS or answer people directly on their OTAs, but in a single place. And that's it. And they have another feature, which is an SMS marketing solution, in which for the clients that you have had for the past, they have a database, and you can send them like marketing SMS to which they can reply, or you can put a link so that they can go and book, or they can also unsubscribe if they need to by saying like don't reply, no reply, or something like that. And that's it, SMS marketing. So when we send our email marketing campaigns, sometimes we send an email, sometimes we send an SMS, and we tackle both channels because some people check their SMS more frequently than emails and vice versa. So we do a mix of them, but Akia allows us to do the SMS marketing part.
Great. So then we have Remotelocks.
Okay, so Remotelock.
I'll be arriving in like a technological solution that I'll be doing soon. So don't worry, it's not going to be only you.
So Remotelock is a property log management system that basically manages all the logs for your rooms. Before, like the standard was to have, in any room that you just had a normal knob with a key, right? And then, people used to like go into reception, they do the booking or they check in, and then the clerk gives them the key, and then with that key they access the room, right? Nowadays we have smart locks, which instead of being keys, they are just like locks with a keyboard in which you input a code, press enter, and then you have access to the room. And for security reasons, those codes are unique to each reservation or to each client. And that's it. Usually they work from the check-in time to the checkout time, and then your lock stops working, just to avoid people coming inside after the checkout or just having like a lifetime access to the room. So Remotelock helps us with that, to manage all of the logs that we have. Right now we have 21 logs. Half of the Auberge has them. The other half, we're still working to set them up with the smart locks. But it's great because you basically create the code in the system from your computer. It will directly transfer that code into the lock with all the criteria that you set up. For example, the check-in and check-out time of the client. And that's it. It automatically connects with the lock and just gives access to the client without you having to go there physically to set the code. The other thing is, like, similar to Cloudbeds and many tools that we are going to explain later, it has an API. So that API, for now, it's connected to Akia. So whenever there is a check-in, the tool creates the code, and then Akia gets that code and sends the SMS to the client. So it's an automatic thing, like from when the client creates the books a room. On the check-in date, they receive the text message from Akia with an already like a newly created code personalized to them, and it gets sent in the SMS. So clients have all the information that they need for the check-in within the SMS, as well as the code to enter the room, and that's it.
Great. So with Cloudbeds and the OTAs, Akia and Remotelocks, that covers, I think, pretty much how we are managing the no reception hotels. Akia sends the SMS. Remotelocks gets like the people in and out. Cloudbeds is the chef de cérémonie or the conductor or something.
Yeah.
So that is like they all play together. I'd say that the other one would be Zendesk. What's Zendesk?
So Zendesk is a ticketing system.
A help desk. Yeah.
Help desk.
Help
That's
desk. That's the name of the thing. It has like a ticketing system, but it's a whole suite.
Well, it's true that it's more complex than that because it has the phone and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, Zendesk is a help desk in which, along with Akia, helps us with everything related to guest communication. As I mentioned, it also works as a ticketing system in which whenever you receive an email or you receive a message or a phone call or anything, it creates a ticket that is easy to follow up on. So many times you receive calls and then you have things to do that are attached to those emails or phone calls that you have. And then you lose track of it because like you just have the phone call, you hang up, and then you need to do something else. And then you forgot you had an action to do with that. So with Zendesk, every time that we receive like a communication from a client, it creates a ticket and then we can follow up on them. So if there is a problem, I don't know, with the heating of a room, and then the client sends us a message or gives us a phone call, and then like we will know that there is a problem with the heating, and then okay, we have the ticket there, and we can put it in our list to do to fix it.
Yeah.
Many of those things are urgent, so we do it right away, but it keeps us to have like a backlog of things to do.
It also has like a more complex phone system that a normal bell line rings like in your wall. It's from the internet, so the phone number that we have is connected to Zendesk, and then we have the choice to either send it to a cell phone or make it ring on a browser, which allows us to either answer from a computer and answer remotely or call remotely, or just normal forwarding it to a cell phone. And that way, if you change cell phone, you can change providers. It's like very easy to have like everything logged in. And it also records the phone calls like big companies. So if you have like a problem, you can go and wait a minute, you go back, you listen to it, you come back and you're like, yeah, you know what? It was our mistake. We did say that to you, so we're going to honor what we said. Mm-hmm. Or you can say like, that's not what we said. We said, quote, this. And so, yeah, Zendesk is a very powerful tool that we are using at like 25% its capacity, I think. Which for now it's fine, but we could have some macro that automatically creates a contact whenever it books, and then having like pairing the bookings with Cloudbeds and Zendesk would allow us at some point to do more targeted marketing. For example, this client is a winter client. This client is a summer client. This is a family. This is a couple. So down the road, we'll be using those API to create a few like bridge between those software, but that cover pretty much Zendesk. Then I'll do a few. All right. Okay. So we are using for the website, we are using WordPress. So like we mentioned, the Cloudbeds is our booking engine. So when you click on, like, let's say book a room, it brings you to a page, and that page is from Cloudbeds. But for the rest of the website, we are using WordPress. WordPress is a CMS, content management system. It's open source. It's the biggest website creator in the world, basically. And it's free and open source. And then there are some paid add-on tools and stuff like in the WordPress constellation. For example, as the servers, we use WP Engine. So it's a thing that is used to host WordPress. So basically, when you type in your computer a thing like google.com, it sends a request to a server, and that server answers you back with a page. That's the way the internet works. So for us, when you type Auberge de nos Aïeux, enter, sends a request to a server. That server is with WP Engine, and the engine that we use is WordPress. Builds the page, sends back the page. So for the website, we are using WordPress, and like we tested a few other tools, and now we have to we used WordPress, tested other things. Now we're migrating back to WordPress. And one of the reason is because also on my personal thing and with Ali, we'll be using WordPress. So we want to create just one process. But it's a pretty good, it's been used by millions and millions of websites all over the world. So you'll have plenty of support, but sometimes there are things to learn with WordPress. We'll be teaching them.
Okay.
So that's for the website. For the emails and the storage and everything that is I would say the remote working tools, we are using G Suite or Google Workplace, or I don't even know how they call it these days. It's
G Suite Workspace.
Yeah, G Suite Workspace. Yeah. And so that is our email solution. It's built on Gmail, or Gmail is built on that. It's the same. So when you go to Gmail, let's say gabrieldancos@gmail.com, it gives you an address. Well, you can have info at Auberge de nos Aïeux on the same platform. It's not even they have no competition. Okay. The next thing would be, I don't even know. It's so much better than all the others that it's just insane. So with that, they give you they bill you a reasonable amount per month, and then they give you a set of tools. So the next tool that we use on that suite is Drive, Google Drive. So that's where we store our files, and to keep the files organized, it's always a thing that to be redone every couple of months, but it gives you storage in the cloud. That means that if your computer breaks down, you still have access to your files. We use whenever we need a spreadsheet, we use Google Sheet. That's part of the same suite. And whenever we need a document, we use Google Docs. So all our documents and our files are pretty much in the cloud. Again, if your computer breaks, that's where you see the value of not having your files locally and having them somewhere on a server where it's not tied to your computer. So for email and storage and other things like Google Meet, and we use that whole suite. It's pretty straightforward, but I'm guessing that there will be some things to talk about, like how do we store the files, how do we record the Google Meet, and how to properly have a pivot table on Google Sheet or stuff like that.
Yep.
Accounting, QuickBooks. What's QuickBooks? How do we use it?
But QuickBooks is our accounting and bookkeeping system. It basically manages the whole accounting part of the Auberge. Our accountant has access to our QuickBooks, and that's where all the accounting information is. Call it receipts, call it invoices, call it reports, financial reports. Yeah, it has all the information. It is directly connected to our bank account. So whenever there is a transaction that is done, like we bought paint or something, it's for sure recorded in the statement or on the bank statement. And it also connects automatically to QuickBooks to create a transaction in QuickBooks. And that's how we organize our receipts and all of our invoices to have the proper financial data organized and displayed.
Perfect. So I'm guessing we will be teaching a few things about QuickBooks. For example, data entry is something that you could use a bit of help with. And then the bookkeeping part, that's kind of like high level. I'm not sure we'll go into that much details, but the thing that people are curious and that I understand is like they want to see our data in QuickBooks, and to be honest, I'm open to show it. Like, how much are we making? Like, what does it look like? Like, I'm open to show it. So if you guys have questions about any of that stuff, like not only how we use it, but what does it look like, we'll be sharing it. And if you have comments on how to improve it, well, just let us know. We'll improve it when we have the time. Then we are using, for sure, marketing tools. So then I'm not going to say like what they are, because, for example, we use Instagram. Pretty clear for everyone what Instagram is. So we use Instagram, we use Facebook, we use YouTube. We'll be using a email marketing tool. For now, we're using MailChimp. I'm considering switching to a new one that I've been testing with in the last months, which is called Active Campaign. I'll show it to you. It's pretty cool. You can have, it's pretty much the same functionality, but the automation is better. So you can like have an action that triggers an automation. So for example, there's been this, they subscribe to the newsletter. So instead of starting to send the newsletter, you wait 3 days, you send the intro. You wait 3 days, you send the second video, who we are, what we do. And then the newsletter starts. So it triggers a few automation that I think now MailChimp has copied, and you can pretty much do it in both platforms. But Active Campaign looks cool, cheaper, and we have a referral link. We're using that. We are gonna use other platforms, not really for the hotel, but for this project, like TikTok. A website, so we'll be showing you guys how to make like a blog post on WordPress, what would be considered a blog post. So that's for marketing. We also use a online video editor. It's called WeVideo. So instead of editing on our computer, we upload and then we edit the video, but on the browser. So instead of using our resources, it uses their resources. It has a subscription fee for sure, but you can edit very, very heavy and big video with a crappy computer. That's great because when you're managing things in a team, then sometimes people have a good computer and sometimes people have a crappy computer. And with WeVideo, you can basically do it with every type of computer. I'm a big fan of things on the cloud, so as you can see, like I'll be limiting the amount of like on site as much as possible, but sometimes it's not possible. For example, Descript. Tell me.
Okay, so Descript is a transcription tool, which is basically a tool that helps, well, creating a transcript and video editing of certain videos or audio files, mostly in the podcast format, like we're doing right now. Very much probably we're going to take this whole video that we're doing right now and put it in Descript, and it will extract everything that we're saying in text. So it will give us a text file with every single word that we're saying right now. And we can also do some light video editing. Like if it's something advanced, we prefer to use WeVideo for it. But the good thing about Descript is that while it extracts the transcript, you also have the video like right next to it. So whenever you edit the text, it also cuts the specific part in the video. So you can do both at the same time, which you have no idea how much time it can save when you're able to do both the video editing and the transcription. So we are using it mostly for video. It's also possible just to do it with an audio file. Just have an audio file, we'll transcribe it, and that's it. You get the text. We use that also as content for our blog posts in the website. So if we have anything to talk about for the website for the blog of the Auberge, if we have something that might be appealing for the clients of the Auberge, like what to do around the Auberge, or how is it to live in Charlevoix, or useful like blog content, we use the transcription from Descript as the body text for the blog, which again saves a lot of time and also like helps creating content overall.
There you go. Fucking great. And I think we're in the smaller tools that we use. So we use Canva to create the thumbnails and some art that they have like good templates. So it's easy to use to create, to take a non-artistic human and make it produce some artistic stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
We use Cloud-based.
It's cloud-based. Yeah, exactly. LastPass.
Okay, LastPass is our password management system or software. As you may guess, well, as you have seen, we use a lot of tools. Those tools have login information. And so we use, like, for example, we need the login credentials for Google. We need the login credentials for WeVideo, for Descript, for all those tools. And then LastPass helps us manage all those passwords in a single place, because it's definitely not a good practice to use the same password for every tool. Like, if someone guesses your password, they have access to your whole ecosystem. So LastPass helps us, like, creating some random passwords that are hard to steal or guess, and keep them stored in the database, which is fully encrypted. It's one of the safest in the world. And that's it. That's what we use to store our login credential information.
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard the news, but they got hacked 2 weeks ago. So,
okay,
again,
not that safe.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm not sure that the other never got hacked either, but it reminds me that it's good practice when you have a password manager to change your password, even like from time to time. And after a good hack like this, maybe it would be a good idea to go through the list of things and do a little cleaning and change the password. But it's not like, I still think it's pretty cool. It's a decent tool. Like, I wouldn't hold it too much against them that they got hacked. It's not good. And the last one, which is the one that we can talk as a tool, but in the next time that we sit down, we'll talk more how we use it. It's Trello.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Trello is a card manager. See it as post-it on a board online. That's what it is. So you can use it to do whatever, like you can use it to have like recipes. You can use it to have like a pipeline of things you need to do, but you can mostly use it as a task manager. So how have you been using it so far?
So, well, you know a little bit more about the Agile and Kanban kind of thing. I guess you will explain it later. But we use Trello mainly for our task management. So we have 3 columns, which is to do, doing, and done. So whenever we have something to do, call it like, I don't know, moving a chair from one room to another, or writing an email to a provider, or anything that we need to do an action for, most probably will be a card in Trello. It is also, those cards that you can create in there are pretty much customizable. So you can create labels, you can assign users, you can do a lot of things with them, you can put comments. So we are using it for, let's say there is many things to do, we put them in to do. Then when we start doing them, we put them in doing to keep track of what we're doing right now. And then when we complete the task, we just move it to done, we'll celebrate, and that's it. Also, to organize the flow of cards, we have something that is called a Scrum, which is a meeting that we have every morning with the team members, just to know like what they done, what are they doing today, and if they are blocked by anything. And we've been doing it steadily every day, and it helps like making sure things are getting done.
That's great. So I think that would pretty much cover the list of things, or at least it covers the list of things that we list each other a few weeks ago. We'll for sure have some that we forgot, and we're going to be adding them. But I suggest that for today, it covers the list of tools. And tomorrow we can talk management, and not like really, because Trello is just posted on the wall. There's nothing complicated about it, but we can show how we're using it and like share our board. And then talk about like what's the responsibility of someone, what's the responsibility of a Scrum Master, what's agile management and stuff like that, and what like so far have we experienced, because we got on board and then like we quit, and then we got on board again and we quit. Yeah. It's better than never quit, but It's life is what it is. So sometimes when you're in high season, the scrum is like, forget the scrum. We need to run to room 35. The water is gushing everywhere. So we'll be sharing our experience and stuff. And I suggest that we can, like talk about how, like what's the responsibility of everyone and everything like that next time. But for today, 40 minutes, we're right on time, perfect. Like between 30 and 45 minutes every day. It was a pleasure. Bro. Like, let's improve our little thing. Like, I like the coffee machine setup, but I want to, when we add the coffee machine, I want it to be functional. So we talk.
You're gonna make an espresso right there.
Like okay, so. Yeah, cool. Continue your thing, but like, oh my god, because right now I'm fucking drinking this piss in a jar. Like, it's horrible. What has happened to my life? I used to own a fucking cafe. Now I'm drinking horrible coffee. Oh my god! So let's work on our setup here and like maybe add like a little guitar, some light. I'll bring some stuff from the house. And,
the light.
Yeah, but at least we have like pretty good light here. Light so like we look decent. Yeah. We look like what we look like in real life. But so we can improve our thing a little bit there. And before I forget, let's tell the guys not to come through here anymore, because this room has been, so when you have a room and you don't use it, it becomes a fucking storage area.
True.
So it's like, this room is off limit. It's been storage too long. So it's my office again, our office. So we'll be using it and not like coming through here. If we need to, we change the lock code.
That's it.
And but it was a pleasure. Let's talk management and Trello tomorrow and share our screen maybe.
Sure.
Fuck yeah.
That works.
All right. Thanks.